Hey everybody! In this month's Hero Arts kit video, I'm going to show you how to make this fantastic yellow card. And then I have several cards with a bunch of the add-ons this month. They are beautiful spring products. There are Mother's and Father's Day dies and stamps, and just a whole lot of fun that we're going to have fun with. I love these sort of graphic Zentangle type stamps. And then there's some awesome grown-up and baby animal stamps that you'll see. So I have my Misty set up with one of the new sticky mats. This is incredibly useful. Make sure you take the clear sheet off of it to expose the sticky part of the mat. So I will just adhere a card front onto this adhesive. It's super grippy, but not so grippy that it will tear your cardstock, but you can see that it's really on there and it's not going to come out. And it has a white grid so that if you need to see through a die cut opening to a stamped image in order to line those up, you can see them quite clearly through that white grid. So I love this thing. It's great. Really helps me use my big 6x6 clings. This is the cling that comes in the kit. And you can see all the beautiful roses and bees on there. So with my card front stuck to the sticky mat, I can just put the sticky mat in the corner and stamp that. Now it also has coloring stencils to match this cling. And these are layering so that you can color things different colors. As you can tell from my cards, I was in a bit of a yellow mood this month, so I'm being my own Texas self and I'm making some yellow roses. And then you can see the sentiments and the dies that come in the kit as well. All of this is included in your kit. So I will take a little bit of intense black ink, pick up my cling stamp, and I will stamp this in black. Now, the thing about the layering stencils, as you could see in one of my cards in the intro, which was my countdown card, you can use the stencils and the cling stamp separately. But the stencils are coloring stencils for this stamp. So you can either use the stamp by itself, use the stencils by itself, or use them both together. So I think that's kind of a fun way to put a kit together. And I love these little bees. They're so cute. Anytime you can squeak a bee into a stamp set, I am in. But I love that these are in the background. And I'm actually going to color those separately. Those are not part of the coloring stencil, so that you can color the bees however you want, and they'll be a different color from the flowers. But since it has little bees, I decided that yellow was going to be the way that this Texas person was going to go. And I don't actually know that they're roses. They look like roses to me, but they could be something else. So don't come at me with a botanical difference. I'm not positive. They just look like roses. And we like our yellow roses down here in Texas. Okay, so one more time. Sometimes I'll look across a background stamp and I'll see part that wasn't really inked really well. So I like to stamp these numerous times to get them perfectly black. Now, when I stamp with a hybrid ink like Intense Black ink, I do have to heat set that in order to be able to color it. So I will do that off camera. If you live in a climate that's similar to mine, you might want to heat set yours if you're wanting to stamp or ink blend immediately. So see how you can pull that off, and it's on there really well, but it doesn't hurt the cardstock to pull it off. Beautiful, beautiful image. I can think of a bunch of different ways that I want to use this image. So now that that is heat set, I will use just my sticky mat. At first I was going to use tape, and then I was like, why would I waste tape when I can just use my sticky mat? So I'm still getting used to it because it's new. So sometimes I forget all the fun things that you can do with this sticky mat. So I will place this on the sticky mat. And I know people are going to ask about cleaning. I just clean mine off with my absorber, but I've also seen people that just clean it off with some Dawn soap, let it dry, and it's sticky and good as new. Now I'm holding it down to my glass mat with one of the Misty magnets. And I do have a coupon code for these glass mats. I will put it in the description. I love mine. And then the cool thing about the sticky mat is when I put the stencil down on it, my stencil is stuck down too. So it's very multi-purpose and I like it. So I put a little mark, you can see in the upper left-hand corner of each stencil so that they're all aligned the same way. That's just to show me the alignment. If you are using it with the stamp, it also is important that you get the right side marked. So that's why I did that. So now I will put my mini inks. I have them in that little 4 stack, which is perfect for what I'm doing today. And I'm going to put those into my ink stand so that I can ink blend. And first I will put Dandelion as the main color of the flowers and then the little buds that are scattered throughout. Make sure on some of these smaller openings that you get those covered because there are some teeny tiny ones and I almost forgot them, and you'll want all the little buds to be colored. So there's one of those tiny ones I was talking about. Make sure you don't miss those before you pull that stencil back up. And then that is the last flower. I love pulling the stencil up and seeing that clean white cardstock underneath. That is so much fun. So I'll pull that off the sticky mat, just leave the cardstock in place, and then line up the second stencil. This one gives you several alignment points. I find it easy to, if you look at that one that is a bud down in the center at the bottom, it has these 3 little bottom portions of the flower that protrude into the flower. That is one of the points that I line it up with, and I found that to be really easy to get the rest angled the way it needed to be after I found those 3 little points. So now I will use Butter Bar, which is a slightly darker yellow, to do the shading portion. This is easy. There aren't quite as many little openings with the shading color, the second one, because the third stencil is going to be the leaves. So these just have a few. The little guys at the edges and the little buds. And then you are all set. Now I'm actually going to use the lemon yellow that is in this set because it has kind of a greenish tint to it. I'm going to use that for the leaves. These are super duper easy to line up. It's very obvious that you're not working in that colored section anymore, and you can see that through the stencil. So it takes nothing to line up the leaves. So here is the lemon yellow that has like just a little bit of green that I liked, a little bit of contrast from the other 2 yellows. So I will add that, and then this will be an overall very happy yellow card. My Father's Day card was yellow too, yellow and gray, which is one of my favorite combos. I think I was just kind of feeling the yellow. It had been a little bit gray here lately, and I needed a little bit of sunshine in the form of ink, and I love the way this turned out. So I'll pull that off and you can see it's a complete scene. Looks like some beautiful fabric to me. I think this would make really pretty fabric. And I will pull that off and we will get to work on the little bees. But look how pretty and how easy that is. Much easier than coloring all that. Although Emily will probably color it and it'll be amazing. So now I'm going to color the bees just very simply with a yellow alcohol marker. This is my graphite marker, and I actually can use the brush tip on these. They're not so tiny that I have to use the fine tip that I love about these markers, but I just want to make sure I don't forget any bees. And then I will make their wings very glittery with a little bit of sparkle lacquer. So I think I just have 2 more bees. Make sure I don't forget that little guy up at the top. And that is finished. So now I'll take the sparkle lacquer pen and I will fill in all of the wings with clear. It's a clear lacquer, but then it has glitter suspended in it. So it'll give it just a little bit of glamour and a little bit of sparkle. Now I like to flip my cardstock around to make sure I'm not sitting my hand in the lacquer, which I'm kind of famous for. So make sure you're careful about that, or just work your way from one side of the card to the other instead of just randomly doing it like I do. Okay, so let me show you the little glittery bees. Hopefully you can see that sparkle on the wings, and it'll be even sparklier when it's dry. And here is the finished card with this amazing word die, a little bit of glitter paper, a Northern Lights little polar bear card with one of the add-on sets. This is the add-on set for the Happy Mother's Day die. This is the stencil without the stamp. And this is a gorgeous black and white that I just embellished with a little bit of pen. This is the Happy Father's Day add-on with an add-on cling that has a super fun pattern. So head over to my blog for more information and a giveaway. And thanks so much for watching.